Hi there guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Here today we are here for the co-op career mode episode number 9, the penultimate episode of the first series. And as you can see, we are just changing over every possible engine component to give us that extra little bit of speed going into the Brazilian Grand Prix. And just quickly to let you guys know, this sort of video is going to be slightly different to what you've seen to previous episodes in the series so far. We have actually, well, half of the race effectively, the footage has been corrupted, so we are unable to use that. So we have used the highlights from theatre mode for the first 14 to 15 laps, and then I have the onboard of the last few laps, so that is how it will go in the race. But here in qualifying we were able to keep the footage for this, so you will see it as here you are into the screen now as we select the soft compound tyres, and we will just be waiting for Tom to ready up here for us to go onto our one-shot quali lap. So here we go then, on the run towards turn 1 in our qualifying lap time, as we brake heavily going into the sharp left and sharp right as we look for a good exit now onto the back straight, sweeping round this left hand corner on the DRS as we power down towards a very tight left-hander here. Very important to get a good exit, but we actually run a bit too wide here and pick up a track extension warning as we soldier on now through the second sector, this tight and twisty section. Very easy to mess up in several areas, but we look like we're doing okay so far. But we're actually on the grass. We're bringing back the lawnmower status of the F1 car, as here we are heading through towards the end of the second sector as we now look to get a good exit here out of the final corner, propelling us onto the start finish straight on the DRS as we on the run up to the line. Where will we be? Across the line. Well, here we are then, and these are the results for qualifying. Tom does extremely well in P5 here, whereas ourselves qualifying a little bit lower down than where we would have wanted to ideally. But it's all about the race, and as we have seen on the forecast, it is a full wet race, I think, or Inters, as here we go, 5 lights, and away we go here, away for the Brazilian Grand Prix as we head down towards turn 1 now in P12, gaining a place from where we started because somebody had a grid penalty. As here we go into turn 1 now, as we actually going through this sequence of corners, drop a position to Giovinazzi, but we look to set that straight immediately here, re-overtaking Antonio Giovinazzi around the outside, but not just him, also going around the outside of Esteban Ocon. What a move, up into P11 here, and we're on an absolute roll as we send it down the inside once more, up to P10 now on Yuki Tsunoda. As we cut now onto the next lap, lap number 2 here, and we're right up behind Sebastian Vettel, and we're going to make the same inspired move we made a lap ago on Yuki Tsunoda. And we are not done yet, as Sebastian Vettel has stayed in there and he is battling us all the while for that P9 position, but we actually are able to get through, having a bit of a tank slapper there. But moving on to lap number 9 now, we have skipped the move on Sebastian Perez, we are in P8, but we send up the inside at the same corner our favourite overtaking place on our teammate Lando Norris, and we're up into P7. We have had fantastic pace in this Grand Prix, and cutting once more onto lap number 15, up in P6 after Charles Leclerc's retirement. Pierre Gasly is there for the taking, and we take it at our other favourite overtaking place, up to P5 now. Here we are on board at the end of lap number 16, salvaging what footage we possibly could from this race. So we will be here for the last 2 laps on board with our McLaren car. As you can see, about 8 seconds off Tom, who I believe has some sort of wing damage. But I think it's not too bad being that far behind, considering just how much Gasly was holding myself, Norris and Perez up for majority of the race. But yeah, here we are then, sitting a purple first sector as the track is starting to dry out a bit, showing that we have, without doubt, the underlying speed. As we're coming into the second sector once more here, as we brake heavily here to negotiate this cluster of corners, looking to get good exits out of these corners, but without lighting up the rear tyres too much, otherwise we are at risk of spinning the car. A little kick of oversteer there, and heading towards the end of the second sector here. It's a very good lap.
6 seconds.
As we go on the run to the start finish line, it's been a very good lap. Are we able to take the fastest lap and the fastest lap point away from Tom here across the line? And yes, we do.
We're leading our teammate by 2.1 seconds.
Wow, what a lap that was from us, showing that we have the pace in this Grand Prix. And if I did not mess up qualifying like that, we might have had a chance of a
3 laps
podium.
of fuel remaining.
And as you will be able to see, now that we have actually broken clear of Pierre Gasly, just look how much speed we have picked up on this lap. We have put in 2 laps, 2 seconds between ourselves and Gasly, and we've got the gap down to just under 7 seconds to Tom, when it was 8 seconds last lap around, showing that we definitely have the pace. As on the run up to the line here to finish the Grand Prix in a brilliant P5, we end up 6.5 seconds off Tom, gaining a second and a half in just 2 laps. And we also pick up the Driver of the Day award here. I'm very happy with that one and how this race has turned out.
It's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. We've witnessed some great battles, so after a magnificent...
Well, here we are then for the final standings, and Max Verstappen is world champion. He did what he needed to do with that P4 finish. The 2 Mercedes with a 1-2, Tom in 3rd, myself in 5th, Gasly 6th, our teammate Norris 7th, Perez 8th, Vettel 9th, Tsunoda 10th. And as you can see here in the driver's title and constructors, we have moved up and we are doing very well here after scoring so highly here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. But yeah, it's been a very successful weekend, and I find it quite frustrating that on the most difficult race of the season so far we have done spectacularly, but we have had so much bad luck in this series, or just errors from myself that have led to a lack of points. As you can see, we are a long way off our teammate Lando Norris, who has carried us this season. But yeah, hopefully we will do equally as well next time out in Jeddah as well, and on to the start of season 2, hopefully being a lot closer and making it a lot more competitive. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, as you can see, McLaren are 4th in the constructors, Ferrari 3rd, Mercedes 2nd, and Red Bull absolutely stormed it out front here. They cannot be caught in the last
Great
Grand
work
Prix.
out there today. Let's have your thoughts. You were cutting your way through the field. You really looked in control of your car out there. How do you feel this season is going for you? How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today? Great. Well, that's everything.
And we're back in the hub now after what was a very, very successful Brazilian Grand Prix, as we look to make some changes to our car. And as you well know, the regulation change for next season is coming, and it is based on the powertrain and durability. But at this point, all of our parts on the powertrain have been protected. I haven't done any on durability, so that's fine. But we can solely focus on upgrading parts to the end of the season now that we have successfully been able to cover every position for next season. As we cut on and we gain some more resource points here. So I think we're about to make a huge upgrade, and we are. A major upgrade on the hydraulics will set us forward in the chassis department, as we are currently lacking a little bit here. But skipping on now, as here we go. Both of our upgrades working on the 16th, which is always good to see. And 2 sets of resource points before Jeddah, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
And here we are then. So we've skipped straight to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And we are ready for that weekend next time out, I believe. As you can see us on the vehicle performance comparison chart. But yeah, I think that will be everything for the video today. If you did like the video, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe. And if you like the video, let me know below and drop a comment so we can have a little chat. But yeah, and thank you to Tom as always. His link will be in the description. But yeah, guys, if you did enjoy, thank you so much for the support. Take care, stay safe, see ya.